Well, hey family, this is Darlene. Want to thank you for stopping by the Jury by BDK YouTube channel. I know you didn't come here for a sermon. So here's the video. And guess what? We'll talk. Well, hey family, happy Saturday. This is Darlene stopping by real quick. I went ahead and painted a couple more of the 25 millimeter beads, and then I painted some white ones that have orange and baby blue, and then I'm gonna put a fourth color on there, and then I painted some that are purple and some other colors. So I will probably be working with those beads later on today. So I'm gonna go ahead and make two different bracelets. Two bracelets in this video. So what I did is I took a bead, and I've made these beads before, and these are pretty much my junk pendants. So all I did, there's a video on here to show you how to wrap these. Is the only difference is this is an actual bead. So if you use a bead that's long like this, maybe this length or maybe bigger or something, you have to make sure that there's a hole right here that's big enough. So once you junk it, you're able to actually put the stretch cord through the hole. Because if you junk it by putting the wire through the hole and it's a small hole, you won't be able to thread the cord. So you got to make sure it's a big enough hole on each side, you know, before you junk it. So I call these my junk pendants. So we just got some beads, went ahead and wrapped them with some 18 gauge wire. And then we're going to go ahead and use some of these white glass beads right here. Hopefully they'll fit in here, because I'm using 1.5 millimeter cord, and sometimes, ooh, it's gonna barely fit. Look, need a little pressure. Okay, but I got it in, and then we're gonna go ahead and put the bead on the other side. It is a beautiful day outside. I went out earlier and moved around a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead and put that there. And then I'm going to use these red beads. I'm going to just go ahead and finish it off with these red beads. No spacers in between or anything. And this is a quick video. Two really cool, what I think is going to be beautiful bracelets, you see. Just make you a couple of junk pendants if you got those beads that you just don't know what to do with. Let me see, what's another one? This type of bead could be good for a junk, to make a junk pendant as well. And then with this one, it's smaller holes on the side, so I wouldn't put the wire through these two holes. I would literally start wrapping here at the top and then use this hole to bring the wire through, and then just start securing it, and then start securing the smaller beads just all on top. So this will probably, you know what, I think I'm going to do that too. This will make a nice big junk pendant, and I think I'm going to go ahead and do that too. I'm going to make a nice big junk pendant using this bead, and then that way you can see anything that you use that makes sense. You can make a junk pendant out of it. So I'm going to do that with that. And in fact, look, I got two of them. So I might do two. But in the meantime, we are going to finish this one out with just the red beads. And we don't need a whole lot down here because we got enough going on all up in the front right there, the focal. 2, 4, 5, 4, 5. And then you can see what that looks like. And then we're going to put a couple more beads on here. One on that side, one on this side. And then you can see what that looks like. And then we're going to use these big beads as our second bracelet. And it does not take a lot to make bracelets. There's a lot of questions that come through, like what should you start with? Just start with bracelets. Bracelets are like really easy. You know, get you some nice beads or paint you some beads or whatever you want to do. and just start with bracelets. If you need a bead board, buy a bead board to coordinate your beads. If you need one, buy you one. I just don't, buy one because I really don't need it. But if you need it in order to get started, and then, to coordinate beads, by all means, buy your bead board. Whatever tools that you need to make it make sense for you along your creative efforts, just, buy it. Just don't be wasteful. If you can do it some other way, other than spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, I would say do it that way. But if you need it, of course, buy it. Look how pretty that looks. And this makes a junk bracelet. And these are just a bunch of little extra beads that are laying up here. So I like that. And then we are going to, where's our 1.5? We're going to use some 1.5. I use all those spools of 1.5 millimeter cord. I might have one in the bucket down here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this bucket and see if I got at least one spool left. Because I was like, I know I haven't used all that cord. I could not have used all that cord. So maybe it's one down here somewhere. I'm going to just go through the bucket. If not, I'm going to just have to buy more 1.5. Or reach out to the company again, ask them, can they send me some more? And then we are going to use these bigger beads. And of course, we stretch our cord. Stretch it however you want to. I do know some people will stretch a little at a time, like this. I don't do it because I don't have to. And you can just do it any way you want to as long as you stretch it. So we're going to do that. And then I think what we'll do, we're going to do this. And I think we're going to separate with some Buddha heads. We might as well go ahead and use them. I don't think we're going to have enough of them. These bigger beads. So we might have to go ahead and use a couple of these smaller beads. I should have painted some more. Yeah, that's nice. We'll do that. And then we'll go ahead and add Buddhas. Just a quick couple of bracelets. I am going to throw a couple of charms on. And you can see bracelets are quick and easy. And I love these beads, so I went ahead and painted more of these because I like them. So this is going to be our second bracelet. So let's do another Buddha head. Another Buddha head. Then we got, looks like we may have enough of these beads to where I might be able to, because I definitely want to use, look how cool that is. That's just jazzy. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to take, maybe if I take the Buddha heads off, I could, because I got one of this bead left and I want to be able to use that. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take these off, the Buddha heads off, and then we'll see if we're able to make the bracelet the right size. Go ahead and put them on this side, and I think we can with one more of those beads. We might even have to take we might have to take one of the, look how pretty that is. But we are going to have to take something off. Let's just do this. We'll take one of the Buddha heads off. So we can make it the right size. Yeah. And then we're going to go ahead and I like to tie 2 and 3 times right here. 1, 2, nice knot. 1 knot. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, nice and tight. And then 1. And we're going to cut that extra off. Pull that big knot right inside of there. And then that is like so freaking cool. But I think what I'm going to do, so I really like this. And then I got some beads left, some red beads right here. So let's do, we're going to make a third bracelet. And that was not my intention, but and then what we can do is I have a piece of wire, bead right here, silver bead. And then what we're going to do, I'll go ahead and use this one. And then how about we use these little red beads? See if they close good against here. Yep. Okay. And then that's what that's going to look like. So then what we're going to do is use our red beads. Oops. Go ahead and use some red beads. Go ahead and use a couple Buddha heads. We may as well use, because I still got a whole bunch of them, meaning the Buddhas. That looks really nice. And then we'll go ahead and use some more red beads. Another Buddha. Another red bead. Another Buddha. And you can see how that looks. And then we'll just finish it off with red beads. These red beads are from Hobby Lobby. They're the garlands. And you can always grab the garlands for a little bit of nothing right after the holidays. Especially the reds and Christmas colors. And let's do one more. Okay. Oh yeah, that's really nice. Okay, and then we're going to tie this closed. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 2, 3. And then we'll go ahead and cut off the extra cord. Pull that inside. And then this is what this bracelet looks like. Easy on. Look how nice those look, right? And remember I had said that too, if somebody's their fingernails are all nice and done, they could have on a lot of different, not a lot, but enough jewelry to where their hands are like really, their fingernails are really dressed up. They got their jewelry on their fingers, and then you got on big, chunky, beautiful statement bracelets. I was going to put charms on here, but I don't think it. So that's real nice. You guys let me know what you think. But these are hand painted. These beads right here. And then the wires. Oh, let me take these off. My bootleg rings. So these are all hand painted. This right here is just a junk focal bead that I put together. So it's just covered with a bunch of little beads, and I use 18 gauge wire to go ahead and wrap. And then this part is really smooth. You don't even feel that on your wrist. So once you're wrapping and everything, you basically taking the wire around the side, wrapping it around the wire, and then tucking it. And you want to make sure you don't feel anything anywhere, no poking, no anything, right? And then we went ahead and made some spacers using that, I think it's 15 gauge aluminum wire. And then these red beads right here are from Hobby Lobby. They sell those garlands. And then these are just the Buddha heads. The Buddha heads I got from one of our subscribers. So this is the set for this. Oh man, that's really pretty, right? Darling Night for Jerk by Beauty Can. Guess what? Look out.